Alright guys, so today we're going to go straight into the video. I'm going to start by applying this Airspun translucent powder to my brow. I just find it makes my brows a good base to work on, and it gets rid of excess oil that I may have. Now I'm going to start by lining my brow on the bottom. I'm using a L'Oreal brown lip liner. I actually ran out of my dip brow, so I've been using this lip liner for a while. I actually kind of like it better than the dip brow because I feel like I have more control over how dark my brows are and how much product is actually put onto my brow. And so as you can see, after I line the bottom, I then start on the top, and I generally follow the shape of my brow, my natural brow, because they are pretty full. And I always start from the middle of my brow and work my way towards the end. I try to stay away from the front of my brows as much as possible because your brows are naturally always darker towards the end. Then with my Anastasia spoolie from my Brow Wiz, I'm gonna blend out the lip liner so that I get rid of all those harsh lines. Then going in with my Anastasia Brow Wiz, I believe this is in the shade Dark Brown. I'm going to fill in my brows. I use this to fill in my brow because the color is not as intense as the lip liner is. It's a little bit more soft, and so this does the perfect job. And then when I start to do the front of my brows, I do very, very light strokes, and I always follow the way that my hair is going. When I say that my eyebrows are sisters, never twins, try to get your eyebrows as close as possible. I mean, it's very hard to get them very similar, especially because they're not symmetrically the same almost all the time. So after I'm done filling in my brows, I go in with this flat brush and my Tarte Shape Tape Concealer, and I conceal the bottom of my eyebrow first and clean up that area, and then I blend it out with a beauty blender. Now I do both of my underbrows first because this usually stays the same. The shape doesn't generally change underneath. However, when I do the top, I try to shape them so that they are the same or as close as possible. And you want to take very little bit concealer at a time, and take your time with this when you're concealing, especially towards the top. You don't want to ruin the shape that you already created. I usually just use a very little bit of concealer at a time and drag it out as much as possible, and I move my brush away from my brow rather than directly following it. That's okay if the strokes go out a little bit more. It's going to be blended anyway with my beauty blender, and then it'll be blended later with my foundation. So after everything is all blended out, I'm going to set my brows with my NYX clear gel. And that is it for my brows. Now we're going to move on to lashes. So today I am using these Sephora collection lash stories. This is what the lash looks like. I've used them before, so they were already out of the box. This was my first time ever buying these lashes, and surprisingly I really like them. They're very easy to put on. So first I'm going to take my voluminous L'Oreal mascara, and I'm just going to apply a very little bit of mascara to my upper lash line. Then I'm going to put the smallest amount of glue, but enough for it to hold onto your eye, of course, on my lash. And you want to wait about 20-ish, 30 seconds before you try putting it on your lash line. The trick that I do in order to see if they're ready to be glued on is that I try to stick the eyelash right in the center of my eye, and if it sticks without moving, then that's when I know I can lay down the rest of my eyelash. But if it kind of moves or doesn't necessarily stick when I place it down in the middle, then I just take it off of my eye and I wait for it to dry a little longer. When I put on my eyelashes, I usually start obviously from the middle when I place them down, but when I lay the entire thing down, I usually start at the ends and then work my way towards the inner corner of my eye. Make sure that you always go back and secure those ends because they do come off the easiest, especially towards your inner corner. Also, keep in mind that the glue is white and it will eventually dry clear once it's fully dry. I know that it looks a little white in the video still, but it does clear up. Then I just apply some mascara to my lower lash lines, and that is it. Alright you guys, that is it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And I will see you in my next video. Bye!